What's up, gamers? This is RJ from Game News USA, and today I want to talk about Concord, and I want to give you 7 reasons why it completely failed. But first, thank you for watching the video. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't already. And with that being said, I'm going to jump right into the 7 reasons. I'm going to make this brief, short, and sweet. First things first, the 5 versus 5 hero shooter game genre is well past its prime. Several years past its prime. You know, this isn't the era of Fortnite and Overwatch anymore. I mean, the Fortnite's still around, obviously, Overwatch's still around, but I mean, games that are like that or clones of it, they're not really producing a lot of money, so this was not really the best game to be coming out right now. Number 2, it cost money to buy it in an oversaturated market. Now you're probably thinking, well, of course it costs money, it's a game. Well, except when a bunch of your competitors are free to play that are doing what you're doing, except they've already been doing it and they're funner and better, people are going to navigate towards those free-to-play models that already have established fan bases. So you're not going to convince a lot of people to spend $40 to leave Fortnite and Overwatch or Apex to come over to Concord to play and start a community. Not happening. And the fact that it's not on Xbox either or Nintendo, kind of an issue. Number 3, poor advertising and marketing. A lot of people don't even know this game came out. I know people who own PlayStation 5s. I bring up Concord, they're like, what's that? They don't even know. They didn't even really put this game out as a big marketing push. I guess they didn't want to chase good money after bad. But for God's sake, you're trying to sell a game. Sony doesn't have many other first-party games happening right now. Put some money behind this thing to get it chugging along. They failed at doing so. Number 4, forced diversity and lack of interesting or established characters. Yeah, that's a huge reason this game failed. Because you have games that have established franchises like Star Wars coming out, Madden, stuff like that. Or games that are using IP that are from things that people know and like. But instead, with Concord, you're going to push out just a diversity game, essentially, and expect people to go pick it up. Why? What for? Number 5, the Concord developers on Twitter would hide your tweet if you criticized it and would ask you to pay money to unhide it. So this practice is disgusting, disturbing, and I hope nobody's actually paid money to unhide their tweets towards this asshole, ass clown, who runs Concord. Because this is just a symptom of the problem, which is developers not listening to the fans, so they make a game that's crap, and then once the game comes out, they continue to not want to listen to the fans. And considering that's a live service game, it's going to be an ongoing thing that if the developers aren't going to listen to the fans' criticisms, they're just going to keep putting stuff in the game that the fans are not receptive to. Duh. Number 6, a horrible release timing, especially with Black Myth Wukong that came out, that had like 3 million people playing it versus Concord having 700 on Steam. All the attention's on Black Myth Wukong, and you happen to come out with this game, poor release timing, But maybe that wasn't planned. Maybe it was an accident that Black Myth Wukong was as successful as it was, and it was unexpected. Concord probably hoped to be doing these numbers that Black Myth's doing. But people have limited resources. They'd rather spend the $70 on Black Myth Wukong, and it sells 10 million copies, than pay the $40 to buy Concord. Clearly, that's what's happened here. And even if it wasn't planned that Black Myth Wukong would get in the way, you still know around this time of year Madden comes out, and you still know that Star Wars Outlaws is coming out soon. So you could have picked a better time. This game's been in development hell for 8 years. So you could have picked it, could have had it done earlier, could have pushed it to January or something. I don't know. But this was not the week to do this. Even in late August when you thought maybe you would have been safe. And lastly, number 7, the review scores are poor. And the player count is very low, which leads to negative word of mouth. So to be clear, Concord, being a live service game, is going to be extremely dependent on players continuing to play the game and populating the world. Considering it should be at its all-time high peaks right now, and it's as low as it is, there is little chance of it surviving, which is why it's a total failure, on top of not being able to sell enough copies, and will be a multi-million-dollar loss for Sony. And the review scores also don't help with the word of mouth. It's a 69 on Metacritic, based on like 7 reviews, because not even a lot of companies wanted to review the game. But it's even worse when you look at the user scores. The user score is one of the worst I've ever seen. It's currently sitting at a 0.9 out of 10, which is sad. I didn't even want to go over review scores for this game because it's not worth going over. It just sucks. And you all can read those reviews, those user reviews, and those critic reviews if you'd like on Metacritic. But I wouldn't waste any more time talking about Concord, and I'm not going to waste any more time talking about Concord. Moving forward, we're going to be looking at games that are actually exciting, actually fun, and if they are bad, will still generate some controversy. Concord will be forgotten by many by next week, and so I put this video out, has a little time capsule into what the hell was Sony thinking when they decided to release this game, and instead cancel Last of Us Factions live service game they had planned. Because sure, that wouldn't have done better than Concord, right? Terrible decision, huge L by Sony and the Concord developers. Maybe somebody can learn from some mistakes here. That's the only silver lining. And with that being said, guys, I'm out. Have a good one. Peace be with you.